Here's a photo I took the other day of my wee girl. Now, what do you notice? Well, if you've read the title of this video, you might notice these things, these dark circles under the eyes, right? Here's another image there. Now, another thing you might notice is actually that's not a bad quality photo for a phone camera. I'm pretty impressed with the camera on my phone. Anyway, back to the video. So we have these dark circles here. My little girl is tired. All right, here we go, under the eyes, under the eyes. In fact, by drawing all over it, you can't really see them, but they're there. She had dark circles under her eyes. Now, what are these dark circles? Well, they're actually called periorbital circles. Let's just write that down. Periorbital. There we go, periorbital circles. Now, we can break this word down because peri and orbital, they've got certain meanings. Peri means about or around. Think perimeter, right? Around the outside, yeah? Now, where the body is concerned, the orbit is the cavity or socket of the skull, which contains the eye, right? So that bony socket that the eye sits within. Now, most people associate these dark circles with tiredness. People are just tired, and it's a common cause of dark circles. There are other causes too, from allergies to the blood vessels around the eye leaking a little blood, to simply being genetically inclined to produce more melanin in the skin around the eyes. We call this periorbital hyperpigmentation. Periorbital, well, we know that one. Hyper means more, right? So hyperpigmentation, you've got more pigmentation there. But in the case of my wee girl, I'm going with the first explanation. She was just very tired. Let's take a look at how being tired can affect your facial appearance. The first thing to consider is that human blood is red, and I mean all the time. Oxygenated blood in the arteries is a nice bright red, whilst deoxygenated blood in the veins is a darker red, but it's still red. Now, you may have noticed that your veins tend to look more on the bluish side. This is because blue light doesn't penetrate human tissue as deeply as red light does. As a result, veins that are close to the surface of the skin will be more likely to reflect the blue light back to the eye. So we see blue veins. Also, deoxygenated blood of the veins tends to absorb red light more than blue light. So once again, it's blue light that's more likely to be reflected back to our eyes. Another point is that the skin under your eyes is relatively thin, about 0.5 millimeter compared to 2 millimeters for the rest of the body. Because the skin is thinner, it's easier to see the blood vessels in this region. So these 2 points explain why we get dark circles. They're simply the result of light reflecting off the blood vessels where the skin is relatively thin, leading to the dark blue appearance. But why would this be enhanced when you're tired? Well, the answer to that is cortisol, a steroid hormone also known as hydrocortisone. This is the structure of the molecule here. You may know it as 17-alpha-21-dihydroxypregforine 3,11,20-trione. Yep, that's all one word, and that's what you'd call this molecule if you were an organic chemist. But let's just go with the name cortisol. It's a bit easier, hey? Anyway, it has a couple of primary functions. One of those is to increase the blood sugar through gluconeogenesis, the generation of glucose from non-carbohydrate carbon substances. Another primary function of the molecule is to aid in the metabolism of fat, protein, and carbohydrate. Now, when your body is tired, the production of cortisol is dramatically increased to give you the energy that you need to stay awake. One of the things cortisol does is increase the volume of blood in your body, which causes the body's blood vessels to expand to allow for that extra blood. And this, of course, includes the blood vessels under the eyes, where the skin is thinner, which means the extra blood is easier to see, and it looks dark blue, and there you go. You have dark circles under your eyes, you have periorbital dark circles. Given some decent rest, this process reverses, and you notice the dark circles fade. So, you guessed it, my little girl, she had a couple of early nights.
Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah. And subscribe to It's Up Here. And here's another video.